Okay, we're in the backyard behind the fence on the west side of the structure of the house. And what we have here is these lawn sprinkler heads. They're not supposed to be closer to a structure than 12 inches. And then we have a little bit of erosion over here, and we're going to find some on the other side of the fence that I remember seeing. These air conditioning pads, they're supposed to elevate the condensing units a minimum of 3 inches above grade. We've got a little more erosion back there. That's definitely not 3 inches. And these coils are filthy. They're dirty. Alright? These are the electric service disconnects for the units. I have the covers off so I could examine them. And they're not supposed to be located behind a condensing unit. They're supposed to be accessible. And then these boxes, not when these covers are on. A lot of times people will seal them when the covers are on. And then you can't take the covers off to access them. But now that the covers are off, or after the covers are off, they should have been sealed around 3 sides. The bottom side should be left open for drainage. They should have been sealed. This unit right here is 2.5 tons. This unit over here is 4 tons. And this is unit number 1 and unit number 2. This low pressure refrigerant line, okay, it should be rigid. It has the wrong kind of insulation installed. Since 2015, it should have been rigid. This house was built in 2017, I believe. So it keeps squirrels from chewing on it, the sun's UV rays from baking it. Okay, so it's the wrong kind of foam. Also, the refrigerant valves, since this is R4108, they should have had anti-theft Schrader valve. Schrader valve, look that up. Huh, good luck. But anyway, the refrigerant service valve ports, they should have anti-theft covers on them, which they don't. And then as the piping, the refrigerant piping enters the house, it says open foam, open cell foam. That's not waterproof. It might stop a little wind, but the piping should have been sealed better when it goes into the wall. Coming on along here, trees should not be closer to the structure than 25 feet. You don't have a lot of side yard, I get that. So a lot of people, you know, my house included, which is not for sale. You see these little holes right here? Okay, that's a tension. Those are for tendon ends, tension cable ends, tendons. And so it tells us that this slab is post-tension slab. Now there's different types of post-tension slabs, but this is a post-tension type slab. Coming along here, this is the service receptacle outlet. If I can get this off conveniently. There we go. And this is so the technician can work on this stuff. That's the only reason it's there. I reset it. Or did I trip it? Now that's test. Now it won't reset. Something's going on. Alright, it's probably connected to the front porch. I'll go back and check that. I'm not real worried about that at this moment. Now these patio grills are nice and convenient, and we like them. I get that. But you want to talk to the turbo manufacturer. You want to get the instructions and see if they allow them underneath the roof like this, underneath the canopy. Some of them need more space. Saved by the Bell. I bet it sells. Oh, 971. Good home. This is Bud. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So, sorry about the interruption. I get them all day long. So, this is your patio grill instructions. This is supposed to hold it in, turn it a quarter, push the button. We got fire. I've run all 4 of these. They work fine. Patio grills are beyond the scope of this inspection, but it looks like it's overall okay. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. So, I'll say that. There's a little refrigerator here, a little beer cooler. It doesn't have a freezer in it. It's just a little patio fridge. I don't even know if it conveys. Again, refrigerators are beyond the scope of these inspections. So coming down here, these are the back doors of the patio. This is kind of interesting. It's probably not going to change the sales price of the house, but the house is only 3 years old, so I mean it was built this way, right? And we're missing screws. We're missing screws. Right there, right there. Coming on up. Let's try this door. Down here, missing screws. That screw was never installed. Missing screws, never installed. Day one. That's the way it was. Interesting to know. Coming all along, this is where I went up on the roof in the earlier video. But see these right here? Those are weep holes. Home ownership 101. All roofs leak. All walls leak. The idea is that they should shed water faster than they accept it. So, and that's what these weep holes are for. They let vapor out. They can let water out. That's a good thing. Painted brick. But we're supposed to have weep holes over all your fenestrations, which I believe is French for a hole in your wall. No, it's a charge for the dad jokes, but we're missing weep holes over our fenestrations, and that's overall, it's everywhere. Coming along, I'll spend a little more time on this fireplace. Now this is ceramic floor, so for an exterior fireplace, it's probably all right. Texas Real Estate Commission, I believe, says that I gotta warn you that you do not have a spark arrestor screen in front of that. There is no code for a spark arrestor screen. Oh, the key is present, not like the one inside. I smell gas. I'll have to come back and take a better look at it. But I believe that works. This is your back exterior faucet. And that guy works. Moving on along. No weep holes. You're going to hear that over and over and over. Coming along. This is your overflow for one of your air conditioning systems, your lower air conditioning system. If that's leaking in front of your window, it's supposed to be in front of your window, that's where it belongs. If that's leaking, you got a problem with your air conditioning system, you should make a service call. I'm assuming I'm right. There's 2 tankless water heaters. Okay, see the TMP drain line? It's too tall. It is too tall. Let's pop this off with a screwdriver. There we go. So this is the east water heater. I'm going to assume it's the same as the other one. But the temperature pressure relief valve is farther from the ground than 6 inches. It should be 6 inches or closer. Not 3 inches, but between 6 and 3 inches from the ground. So that's too high. Your little dog could be running past there, and if it blows at 200 psi, 200 degrees. So it's pretty hot. Pretty hot. Coming on along here, there's your care and use manual. This is your thermostat right here inside of it. It's probably not the best place for it. You might want one inside in the closet or something. But there's where it is today. There's nothing that says it can't be hidden in here, I guess. I'm not sure, to be honest. Just not sure. I'll look at the other care and use manual. I don't want to dig that one up. See that tape right there? When this unit was installed, whoever installed it just bolted this thing up. They never took that tape off. And that tape, okay, when you take that off, then you can adjust the regulator valve so that it burns more efficient. The whole idea is this is a high efficiency system. And yeah, it probably works fine just bolting it up like it is. But since you're paying extra for more efficiency, why wouldn't you want to maximize the product? And right here, right there, you see that? It says water inlet. You see that's a water filter. You just find that in your instructions. These are supposed to be cleaned monthly. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. Just like they don't service the lawn sprinkler check valves. I'll put that back up. I'll save you some misery. This is, again, we're on the east side of the house, and this is the gas meter coming in. And what I don't see on the gas meter, well, I see this foam. That's not good. But I don't see any bonding, electrical bonding for the gas. It's probably going to be at the furnaces. Probably going to be at the furnaces, and that's acceptable. You see it quite often. There's your, it's electronic. They can phone it in. Sprinkler heads are too close. Over here, what room is this? This is the master bathroom. Master bathroom window right there. We got some messed up siding right there that needs to be taken care of. And the lawn sprinkler head is right next to the building. You're just asking for it. Just asking for it. I can find I got something that I want to show you here in a minute. Moving on along. These are the cleanouts for the sewer system. So that must mean that this I'll get to this in a minute. Dollars of donuts, that's a shut-off valve. Now these drip hoses, drip lines, they're allowed to be above grade. But they're supposed to be stapled. See that staple? It's supposed to be stapled every 12 inches. And they were kind of lackadaisical with the staples over here. Look at that. That wasn't stapled in 12 inches. That wasn't stapled in 12 inches. So, coming along here. So my battery's getting low. I hope I keep you. Alright. The siding is closer to the roof covering than 2 inches. It's supposed to be a 2-inch gap. Right along there. Same over here with this one. Tree's too close. I was looking at it with binoculars for a little farther back. But trust me on that. Moving on along. Grading and drainage. It's pretty level here. Pretty level. Alright, and then right up there, right on that corner, there should be kick-out flashing. See how they have that little dovetail? That just doesn't cut it. You can have it over there because of the way that's configured. Okay, but that dovetail right there, yeah, that should be step flashing. Excuse me. Kick-out flashing. Moving on along here. This is the lawn sprinkler check valve. It looks pretty good, actually. Pretty good. Boy, it's only 3 years old. But the floor of this should have been covered with a layer of gravel to keep mud from coming in and raising up and making it inaccessible. And you can kind of tell that it's already starting to happen. But it should have been lined with gravel, nonetheless. This is your water meter out by the street. I found a couple gardener snakes in here earlier. See that dial right inside there? See that little red wheel? It's called a cheater wheel or a cheater pedal. It's oh, those are snakes right there. They're back. Hey guys, come on. It's spring. It's spring. Let's have some fun. Okay, if that little dial is moving, then water's moving. Potable water into the house. You've got a water supply leak someplace. And if it's someplace that you can't see, then it's someplace that you can't see. If that thing's moving, go find your leak. Let these guys finish their hibernation. Garden snake never hurt nobody. They're actually beneficial. Coming down here, there's another one. See where it comes off that dead valley there? Or it creates a dead valley right in that corner? I don't know, man. Kick-out flashing might be able to help that. That's just a problem area, the way it's designed. No weep holes, no weep holes, no weep holes, no weep holes. Coming across here, we got, I don't know why they extended the foundation like this. I don't even know what that's about. That form board in there, that's termite bait. I can say that, I have that license. I can say that. That's termite bait. I can say by design or whatever, but that's just a, you know, maybe not the biggest problem in the world, but it's going to be a problem. Coming on along here, there's nothing that keeps a fire in the garage from walking into the house. This door should be self-closing. Should have been self-closing. We got all our screws. Now I'm paying attention to screws. This is the mud room. Door opener. This switch, both of them actually, but you shouldn't have a switch closer to the door threshold and the garage floor than 5 feet so little hands don't come up here and mess with that. We got wooden doors with metal frames. The optic sensors are just a little higher than 6 inches, and then much higher than 6 inches if you count that. It's a shade higher than 6 inches. They shouldn't be higher than 6 inches. You should have notices, spring tension notices on each bottom corner of the first panel, first is the bottom panel. You should have a pull handle installed inside of the door, and you should have a safety notice. Just like you should have safety notices over there, you should have a safety notice that instructs you, how to squash a kid. If that's, you got instructions, you know how to do it. Okay, both of the doors, the main door locks have been decommissioned. The safety reverses work. They both have handles. The courtesy lights are working. They're both on GFCI. Now, one thing I noticed is when I found out that they were on GFCI is they did not operate unless they had power to them. Some door openers have batteries, backup batteries in them. These door openers do not. Okay, this is the electric service panel, load center, breaker box, call it what you will. Not supposed to have a gap wider than 1/8 of an inch. I like to go about 1/4. It's not a big deal. These screws, this cabinet is screwed into place. Screws are fast and tight. I get that. But nails have a lot more shear strength. They're supposed to be nailed. If this property experienced, let's say, a tornado, then this load center would stand a lot better chance of staying put, staying in place, if it had nails instead of screws. L1 and L2 should have rubber boots on them. Wires should not be touching the panel cover. Bonding location, already said that. And that's about it. Your lawn sprinkler system. You have a care and use manual, but the zones are not labeled. The zones should have been labeled. I haven't seen a weather sensor yet either. That reminds me. I'm not through looking, but I haven't seen one yet. Over here, this is the other water heater, the one I was aware of, and it's the same issues. That filter needs to be serviced once a month. The gas was not adjusted. There's your thermostat. This care and use manual, I rescued it from up there. It was a fire hazard. Speaking of fire hazards, that's a gas pressure washer, so I wouldn't put a gas appliance lawn equipment underneath a gas water heater appliance like that. That kind of gives me the creeps. Now, I read these instructions, and this one's a little different than the one on the wall because this is in the garage, and the code says water heater tanks should have a safety pan. Tanks. And then some manufacturers, including Rheem, some of their models, the manufacturer recommends a safety pan. But I could not. I read these instructions, or I gleaned over them. Okay? And I could not find any reference of a safety pan. So apparently Rheem does not recommend a safety pan for this model, even though it's in the garage, even though it would be a good idea. Nobody seems to care that much about it. So I'll just let it go. Gravel driveway. Moving along. This one's easier. Saw one somewhere. I think this one is easier. See these light fixtures? They should have been sealed. They should have been sealed around there for water penetration. And then, this is other places. Lots of other places. In fact, it's up here. Let's just go up there because it's two different roof systems. I want to say, well, that's a metal roof. Okay, well, that's a composition shingle roof. See that flashing, that little metal band between the fascia and the shingles? See how that's lapped right there? It's supposed to be lapped 10 inches. It's not supposed to be lapped 2 inches. It's supposed to be lapped 10 inches. That's what the manufacturer specifies on that. Of course, now we got the metal roof. I get that, but it's the drip edge flashing. That's brake edge. It's all edge flashing. That's brake edge flashing. That's drip edge flashing. But all of your edge flashing should lap a minimum of 10 inches. Again, the tree's too close. I believe the battery's going to make it. This is your electric meter. It's on the west side of the garage. This is the lawn sprinkler control wire. See how that's broken? Water can get into that. That should be repaired. And coming on along, T&P valve is too high. It's too high. We have water here. And then the front one, I've got a still image of the front one, but we got about 80 psi water. The gauge is still hooked up. I just got carried away. I just wanted to take you places.